It's Morning Joe and the Pro. I'm the Prez. Tony Finn with us. The #1 baseball handicapper last year at WagerTalk and for basically every year, Tony. 112% on your bankroll. That is ludicrous. And you got 2 plays up for today. Nice to have you, brother.
Thanks for having me. First off, let's give props and kudos where they're due. It was Marco that had a better season last year in Major League Baseball. So he was the king of baseball last year. He deserves that headline.
Okay, fine. You made 112% on your baseball bankroll. Marco was better. Brian Leonard killed it. I think I was close to 60-something% return. God, I'm excited, dude. I mean, we're going to talk madness today, but baseball is upon us, and this is the sport. Guys, this is the sport.
Baseball?
Yeah, to bet on? Are you kidding?
I could not agree more. It doesn't get that reputation simply because most average Joes kill themselves early playing the big chalk, the big juice games, and all of a sudden you're in a hole and you're lost.
Yeah, and we spoke about that on our preview show. I mean, you bet the Yankees last year every game to win, and they won, and you lost.
That's right.
Anyway,
when you win, you lose.
Let's get into it. We're just going to talk a couple of March Madness games today. Before we do that, we'll talk about what's going on at WagerTalk.com. And we have to stop and just bask in Marco's 9-1 start to the March Madness. He's got a 5% play up tonight. Head over to WagerTalk.com. It's $30. No one is hotter. And Marco has the key play for tonight. Tony has a 5% play tomorrow. I have a 5% play tomorrow. They are on different games. And don't forget about Kyle Anthony, people. Our UFC expert, 69% win percentage in the last 14 months. And he's got a play up for Saturday. It's only $9. Tony... let's talk a couple of games tonight. Michigan versus Texas Tech. Over and under 125.5 now. The line is -1.5 towards Michigan. Do you have anything on this game for us other than the total and the side?
Well, let's talk. I want to talk a couple of propositions. That I wrote a piece yesterday that focused on this Michigan defense versus Culver for Texas Tech, whose NBA draft stock has risen considerably as the season's gone along. He's one of the most efficient basketball players, a 6'5" guard, a perfect fit in the NBA for the perimeter, shoots almost 45% from three-point land and almost 50% from the field. Here's a guy who averages, to give you an example, here's a guy who averages almost 20 points a game and takes 19 shots or less per game. That's how efficient he is. That's how technically sound Texas Tech is. And there's a prop out there, Lawrence, that speaks to Culver's points in this game to Michigan's defense. It's 18.5 points. As good as Culver is, the question here, the million-dollar question is, does Coach B want to focus 2 defensive players on Culver and let the rest of the team beat him, or does he want to do exactly what he's done all season, man up, and I'm going to give you, this is a little bit windy, but I'm going to give you some of the players that this Michigan defense has faced throughout the season and what they've done against them, albeit from all positions on the court. Luke May, North Carolina, barely reached double digits, 11 points. Cam Johnson in that same game, who is an NBA top 5 pick, scored 5 points on 2 of 7 from the field. Indiana's Romeo Langford, 13 points, 8 of 23 in 2 games this year. And Purdue's Carson Edwards scored 19 in the loss to the Wolverines. I like, as crazy as it might sound to some people, with this total, with this point spread, under 18.5 with Culver in this prop. And quickly, the second prop in this game, the largest lead by either team is 11.5 points. Texas Tech won 21 games this year by double digits. However, they only played 4. They only won 4 games against tournament teams: Kansas, Baylor, Oklahoma, and Abilene Christian. Pretty pedestrian tournament teams,
yeah,
right?
Some of them don't even count.
So there you go. This game never gets beyond double digits.
No chance.
Low scoring, under 11.5 points by either team is the largest lead.
I love it, Tony. Those are 2 great props, brother. He's Tony Finn. I'm the Prez. You're watching Morning Joe and the Pro. I remember, everyone, I'm away next week, Monday to Friday. I'm in Whistler skiing with my 15-year-old. It's going to be a blast. Marco will be hosting the show, so it's still going on. Tony, let's talk about Purdue and Tennessee tonight. Another tight game, another minus 1.5 number towards Tennessee, but a different pace and a different total, 146.5. Not out of the realm that both of these teams get into the 80s. I actually like the over here a bit, especially with the low spread and a potential 1 minute of 20-25 points of fouling. Right. What do you like in this game?
I'm with you. Really, the most overrated storyline in the round of 32 was the supposed dominating performance of the Boilermakers over the Nova, over the reigning champs. I agree with you 100%. Listen, the Boilermakers jumped out to a 19-point lead in that game. And Villanova is not the team they were a year ago. They lost 80% of their returning talent. But in this game, the Bulls are going to wake up a little bit from their last week. And I know you were on Tennessee. They jump out to a 25-point lead, and they get back to it. Actually, they fell behind in the second half. And they end up winning in overtime, and I think that's a learning experience for them. Tennessee learned and grew as the season went on. You know, when they were ranked number 1, they struggled right after that against Vandy, and then cruised for 6 games until they went to Kentucky and lost. In this game, if you look at the underlying peripherals, the over, it screams over. There's not going to be much defense. Purdue's been really an iffy team defensively this year, and the matchup in this game, if you like Carl Edwards to score 20 plus or get his average, maybe even 30, that's what I think it's going to take for Purdue to compete with Tennessee's big 3, the Admiral and yada and yada and yada. I like the over here, and I actually wrote a free pick on this, and I agree with you. I think the first team to 90 could be the winner in this game.
Yeah, and Tony, you know, I like Tennessee too in this spot, and I'll tell you why. And Teddy and I speak about this all the time. When we get to round 3, when we get to the Sweet 16, we want to be playing on teams that have been challenged, on teams that almost lost it all. Purdue has just walked over teams so far, and they're coming into the Sweet 16 round, you know, feeling great about themselves, really have not been tested. You know, Tennessee overtime with Iowa and pulled it out. I think we could see Tennessee go on a little bit of a run here. I think it bodes better for Tennessee to have been tested by Iowa than for Purdue to walk over ODU and Villanova. I like the Vols too, bro.
I do too. Listen, this is a team that's grown, as we mentioned in the last episode. I mean, this is a team that kind of got the Clayton Custer jump shot last year when they lost to Sister Jean's Prayer and were eliminated. This team has continued to get better and better, and their loss in their conference tournament was no shame, and I couldn't agree more. I've dogged, I shouldn't say dogged, but I have downplayed and believed that the Big Ten was overseeded. Outside Michigan, I thought this league was pedestrian at best, and I thought this is the best year the SEC's had in college basketball in seemingly a million seasons. So I like Tennessee here at short numbers. Is really a reflection of last week's big fade and what Purdue has done against 2 below average turning teams.
He's Tony Finn. I'm the Prez. Quick show today. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to comment, Tony, you're the bomb. Kill it on your baseball season, as I know you will. And everyone, head over to WagerTalk.com and get down on Marco's 5-star tonight.
Great day. Full day here. When we get off the phone, we're just about ready to see first pitch. Baseball, basketball, all day. Good stuff.
Take care, brother. See you later, everyone.